How did I go this long without doing a movie from you?
Yes, Japan. The Asian country famous for cars, electronics, and of course, some of the most batshit crazy entertainment ever conceived by man.
Rather than start with something too crazy, I figure a good introduction to Japanese cult cinema is with their most famous monster, Godzilla.
Yeah, sure, The Last Dinosaur had some Japanese involvement, but I'm talking about mainlining some of the more pure, uncut stuff.
I've also got another reason for choosing a Godzilla movie to review here.
While posting my videos to thatguywiththeglasses.com, I was asked if I wanted to contribute to a Godzilla film series collaboration posted on the site. Having been a Godzilla fan ever since I was a little kid, I gladly accepted. Technically, the official English title for the movie I picked is Invasion of Astro-Monster, but here in North America, it's more popularly known as Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, or just Monster Zero. It's also notable in that it features an American star, Nick Adams, as one of the leads. This was actually one of the first Godzilla movies I ever saw, so it's pretty appropriate that it's my first Godzilla review.
So here is Godzilla vs. Monster Zero.
So a title card informs us that some astronauts have been sent to investigate a new planet discovered near Jupiter in the year... Actually, you know what? When does this movie take place?
I mean, they don't say it's in the future, and everything on Earth looks pretty much the same as when it was made, yet they're just casually sending out manned missions to Jupiter just because they found a new planet?
This movie was made in 1965. They hadn't even landed on the moon yet.
I don't know. I guess for now we'll just have to go with this.
In the not too distant future, next Sunday AD.
The new planet is called Planet X, and the two astronauts sent to explore it are Fuji, who has an interest in his sister's love life that borders on creepy, and Glenn, who's there because the producers needed a tough-talking American, and Nick Adams happened to be in town.
What's so funny?
You should have left your sister packed in ice.
They make a cute couple.
Fuji's sister also works at the space agency that sent them to Planet X and is dating this guy, Tetsuo.
Still studying it? You say that every time I ask.
Guy sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Anyway, Tetsuo's an inventor who's made a device that does this.
Hey, the range is getting good. I wonder why I can't sell this good idea.
Gee, I don't know. Maybe it's because it sounds like a robot cat passing a kidney stone.
Believe it or not, though, somebody actually does want to buy Tetsuo's invention. This lady, Miss Namikawa. In fact, Japanese Jackie O here even offers him a contract.
I sold the invention.
Who's taking it?
World Education Corporation, a toy manufacturer.
Oh yeah, I can just see parents scrambling to buy their kids something that does this. Meanwhile, back in space...
Glenn, what's the problem?
I don't know, Fuji, but I think the cameraman may have been hitting the sake again. Glenn and Fuji arrive at Planet X and awkwardly position their spaceship for a landing. You know, now that I think about it, if Planet X is near Jupiter, how is it nobody discovered it before?
Planet X is very dark.
Really? It's very dark? That's the explanation you're going with? Not, it was playing hide-and-go-seek, or it's a really shy planet and we just needed to break the ice with it first?
Anyway, Glenn and Fuji land their ship on Planet X, which looks pretty well lit to me, and after their Mego action figures leave the ship, they start exploring the surface.
Thunder and lightning.
Oh man, the weatherman said Planet X was going to be sunny. Now how are we going to have our picnic? Turns out, though, Glenn and Fuji aren't alone up there.
You will not be harmed, but I insist that you enter this cylinder without delay.
No thanks.
I'm sorry, Astronaut Fuji, but I must insist. So you will step into the cylinder, please.
Well, a strange alien presence may have just forced you to do something against your will, but on the plus side, at least he was polite about it.
Okay, if these hallways are any indication, we're obviously dealing with a race of muffin-shaped aliens. Nah, just kidding. They're actually a new wave band.
Are we not men? We are Devo. Are we not men? Devo.
I'm controlling controller of Planet X.
Wow, you guys call this place Planet X2? Man, and I thought we were being unoriginal calling it that.
Monster Zero.
What is Monster Zero?
Monster Zero is the reason we cannot live on the surface. I will show you Monster Zero.
Monster Zero, it turns out, is actually King Ghidorah, the three-headed monster that first appeared in the previous Godzilla film, aptly titled Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster.
Everything is numbered here. The monster is zero.
Yeah, well, I'm still calling him Ghidorah for the rest of the video, so...
The hydrogen oxide plant has been damaged. If we are to maintain control...
Oh, great, they've been put in the cone of silence. Fortunately for us, though, we can still hear him banter.
Hydrogen oxide. Hey, hydrogen oxide is water.
Yeah, it's water.
Good work, Fuge. I knew your 6th grade education would come in handy.
In order to get rid of Monster Zero, damn it, I mean Ghidorah, the aliens want to transport Godzilla and Rodan to Planet X so that they can fight.
Because when your planet is getting ravaged by a giant monster, clearly the best solution is to bring in 2 more of them.
First place, we don't even know where Godzilla and Rodan are. Even if we did, how would we capture them and bring them here?
Godzilla is in Japan.
You don't say.
In exchange for Godzilla and Rodan, the controller offers to give Earth the formula for a drug that can cure all known diseases. And with that, he sends Fuji and Glenn on their way.
Well, that's not the least bit suspicious.
Back on Earth, the Japanese government begins the search for Godzilla and Rodan, but no time for that. We've got an exciting dinner scene to get to.
Tetsui, my brother is waiting. Let's hurry.
I sure don't feel like seeing him.
Aw, it's not easy being green, is it?
As you can probably tell by now, Fuji doesn't approve of his sister dating Tetsuo, but I think that's just because he's jealous that she gets to express her love out in the open.
Mutual trust is a beautiful thing.
Oh, Glenn, you don't know what you're saying.
Oh, no, I just stated a general fact.
That won't buy groceries.
Oh, true, but it's necessary in everyday life.
You're fighting me. You always agree with the girls.
Why do I get the feeling one of these 2 is going to propose to the other by the end of this dinner?
Well, if you'll excuse me.
Oh? Do you have to go?
Yep, I've got a date.
Oh yeah, a date. Sure. No, wait, he actually does have a date. And it's with the woman who wanted to buy Tetsuo's invention. Her turn-ons include blonde American actors and shrill, high-pitched noises. The Japanese army finds Godzilla at the bottom of a lake, and Glenn and Fuji go to investigate because... they're astronauts and monster hunters?
Hey, why did you bring me up here? Isn't this the road to Lake Myogen?
Yeah, this is the same way I went with the girl.
What are you giving me, a true confession?
I'm really starting to wonder that myself.
I think I saw that guy from Planet X. The girl and I stayed overnight in a bungalow. In the middle of the night, I woke up and the controller was in the room.
Listen, man, whatever you and Miss Namikawa are into, that's cool with me. I mean, I'm not here to judge.
So, in case you hadn't figured it out yet, Namikawa is from Planet X2, meaning the aliens have been operating on Earth since, let's say the beginning of the movie. Anyway, they go to the lake where Godzilla is, but it turns out some ships from Planet X are already there, and after waiting until the next day, apparently, the aliens make contact with Earth.
Are we not men? We are Devo. Are we not men? Devo.
This day will always be remembered by the universe as when our 2 civilizations joined together for the benefit of galactic mankind.
Controllers speak with forked tongue, lady, huh?
You do realize he's sitting right beside you, don't you?
Sir, how will you transport Godzilla and Rodan?
Our scientific achievements enable us to easily carry an object anywhere in space.
And with that, they capture Godzilla from the bottom of the lake and also get Rodan, who was on the inside of a mountain. Hey, keep looking, fellas. There might be a Triceratops in there, too. Hey, hang on a second. Why is it the aliens need Godzilla and Rodan to get rid of Ghidorah?
Can't you drive it away?
If you have an idea how to do it, won't you tell us?
Well, for starters, you could use some of that technology capable of neutralizing and transporting Godzilla and Rodan across the solar system and use it on Ghidorah. You know, maybe throw him into the sun or something.
You know what? Why am I even bothering to point this out? The aliens are obviously bad guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I spoil that for you?
They also invite Fuji and Glenn back to Planet X2.
Oh, Glenn, you shouldn't go. Can't you stay and get married?
Whoa, lady, take it easy. We went on one date. I mean, I know it's hard to resist my rugged American charm, but let's slow it down a little bit here.
Well, it's a long way to Planet X, but thankfully they'll have some stimulating conversation along the way.
You mean to say you feed your will into the computer and let it control the ship the way you want?
A crude analysis, yes.
Can you do the same to animals and plants then?
You have an extremely inquisitive mind, Mr. Astronaut Glenn.
Okay, we get it. You're secretly bad guys. Now, would you just try and take over the Earth already?
Back on Earth, Tetsuo's feeling a little disgruntled that Miss Namikawa hasn't made his incredibly annoying invention yet, so he decides to follow her to the aliens' base on Earth.
I love that scene.
Back on Planet X, the aliens deliver Godzilla and Rodan and revive them just in time for King Ghidorah to make another attack.
And you know what that means.
Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this?
Eventually, Godzilla and Rodan defeat King Ghidorah and send him packing.
And this leads to one of the most infamous moments in Godzilla movie history. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Godzilla Victory Dance.
A happy moment.
Glenn and Fuji still don't trust the aliens, though, and sneak off during the battle. Because apparently they're ninjas, too. You might catch them if you run. No? Not gonna run? Okay. Glenn and Fuji find out that while Planet X is short on water, they do have an abundance of gold paint. Not only that, but all the women look like Miss Namikawa.
You know, maybe I was wrong about Planet X. I mean, a planet full of attractive Japanese women can't be all bad, right?
Why did you wander about without permission?
Oh, I had to take a leak and I tried to find the bathroom. Sorry.
Hey, one more thing. How come all the women here look alike?
I should think that you, Glenn, would agree that our girls are attractive.
Yeah, but beauty is more than skin deep. Beauty is also what's in the heart.
Okay, Shakespeare.
So the aliens give them a tape containing the miracle cure and send them back to Earth.
Look at Godzilla and Rodan. They seem to resent our leaving them behind this way.
Yeah, well, I resent them going on rampages and killing thousands of people. So what do you say we leave them on Planet X and just call it even?
Back on Earth, they prepare to listen to the tape Planet X gave them.
I am the controller of Planet X. You will place the Earth under our absolute control and be governed as our colony.
What is that governess as a colony?
If you do not obey these orders willingly and immediately, we shall destroy your civilization.
Double truss and think.
Okay, that was a good take. I think we can use that one. Now, let's see, how do I stop this thing? Yes, I'm pressing the stop button, but it's not going. What? You have to press stop and record at the same time? That's just stupid. And why the hell are we still using reel-to-reel tapes anyway? We're an advanced alien race. Shouldn't we have at least invented the CD by now?
So Planet X begins an invasion of Earth using Godzilla, Rodan, and King Ghidorah, who are now under their control.
Ghidorah was always one of their weapons.
This makes me wonder, why did Planet X even bother pretending to be friendly in the first place? They could have easily just came to Earth and gotten Godzilla and Rodan. Why ask for permission? And if Ghidorah was always under their control, why did they pretend that they needed Godzilla and Rodan to fight him? Was it just so they could pull the whole prank with the tape recorder? Just come to Earth and start invading. Well, things look bad, but at least Glenn still has the love of a good alien woman.
Yes, I'm a citizen of Planet X.
Tell me about it, baby.
Smooth.
She's right.
The aliens take Glenn prisoner, but Namikawa gives him something that could defeat them before getting Star Trek special effected into oblivion.
You rats.
I'd only gotten to second base with her.
Oh great, Tetsuo's his cellmate. Wonder which one of them's gonna end up being the bitch. Never mind that, though. What are they gonna do about all the monsters?
May I suggest we join in prayer?
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be enough.
Fortunately, though, alien-controlled monsters are a common occurrence for Japan, and they've already got the infrastructure in place to counter it.
They've also put considerable resources into their schoolgirl anti-tentacle department.
They figure out that the monsters are being controlled by magnetic waves, and... Oh, wait. Did I say they figure it out? I mean the aliens flat out tell them that.
And King Ghidorah is completely controlled by our computers through magnetic waves.
They figure out that they can use a ray to cut off the waves if they find the right frequency, and blah blah blah, sciencey science, reverse the polarity, ain't technology great. Next. Not to be outdone in the Deus Ex Machina department, the letter Namikawa gave Glenn explains that the aliens are vulnerable to sound, and it just so happens it's the same sound emitted by Tetsuo's invention.
Listen to it.
Ah, God, that really is annoying. I think I'll replace it with something a bit more pleasant.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
So they use Tetsuo's invention and escape. Oh, by the way, Planet X's other weakness? American fists.
Doctor. Oh, Glenn, where have you been?
Wait, look at this.
We can catch up later when the Earth is not about to be destroyed.
Uh-huh.
Beat it, Tetsui.
What a dick.
Glenn and Tetsuo explain the aliens' weakness to sound, and they decide to broadcast it all over Japan. And I really don't know how they're able to organize all this in just a few hours. Chalk that one up to Japanese efficiency, I guess. While all this is going on, the aliens order the monsters to attack, and if some of it looks familiar, that's because they use stock footage from older movies. Yeah, that's right, fellas, just keep shooting them, because it works so well in the other movies.
The unpleasant noise you are about to hear coming from your radio is not a mistake. Please do not turn off your radio, but turn up the volume on your receiver as high as it can go.
As always, we'll have all your classic rock favorites after the world is saved. So using Tetsuo's sound and the magnetic waves, they manage to defeat the aliens and break their hold over the monsters.
We'll escape! We'll escape into the future! All of you, join me in escape!
Now, you see? That's why you never put your time travel controls next to your self-destruct button.
There's still King Ghidorah to deal with, though, which means it's time for round 2. Well, it's the end of a Japanese monster movie, which means it's time for a dip in the ocean.
Did he kill Rodan and Godzilla?
He couldn't. They're too tough.
I have a feeling we'll be seeing them again for several dozen more movies.
Now we just have a vacation.
Not you, Glenn. You're flying back to Planet X.
What?
You're to be our first ambassador.
Whatever's fair, pal.
You do realize they just tried to take over the Earth, right?
So there it is, Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. Fans often point to this movie as something of a turning point in the Godzilla series, where the serious tone of the first movie was permanently left behind, and the movies became sillier and more geared towards children. And yeah, that is kinda true. This was also the first in the series to recycle footage from older movies, although thankfully it's not as bad here as it would get later on. Having said all that, this is still an entertaining movie. Sure, there's lots of plot holes and stuff that doesn't make sense, but honestly, I don't really expect airtight plots in my 60s Japanese monster movies anyway. So while it's not my favorite Godzilla movie, it's still a pretty good entry in the series, and if you're in the mood for some silly monster movie fun, I say give it a shot.
Well, that's all for now. Till next time.